Hey there, I'm Dr. Emily Elsner-Twesme from Bright Business Consulting. I'm so glad that you're here. It's September and we're talking all things internships. I love talking about interns and I had really great experiences for the most part being an intern myself. Some of my experiences were not as good. But from those experiences and teaching at a university setting for 8 years and also working really closely with students to help prepare them for their internships, really like I just get excited about it. It's so great. It's such a cool opportunity for students to be able to go and actually like learn what it's actually like to do a job and not just learn like read about it in a book or watch some YouTube videos and things like that. So, but in order for an internship to be a great experience for both the student and the organization, you really have to focus on a few things. Um, One of those things is regular check-in meetings. So sometimes I think when you're working with an employee who is a little bit older and who has been in a professional setting for a while, they sort of like get a sense of, well, just from their time and experience, like this is when I need to really like check in with my manager. These are things I can just sort of like do and I don't have to ask somebody all the time. I'm having a problem and it's really easier if I just go like talk to somebody about it sooner than later before it like really blows up. And when you're working with an intern, sometimes if they've had a professional experience before, they sort of like know some of that. But if they haven't had a professional experience before, they might not know. They might not know that like there are certain things you just want them to do, like you don't have to be a part of. And they might not know that there are other things that like, oh yeah, like you want to be a part of that conversation because it's an email with a VIP client that you want to make sure that you're at least talking about what their approach is going to be so that you can sort of like preserve that outside relationship. Things like that. Or maybe they're struggling to like do some teamwork with a different colleague on your team and like they just don't know how to approach it and they're stalled out. They're just like kind of frozen because they don't know what to do next. And them being frozen for days is going to put your project behind. So, how do you get through that? Meet with them regularly. So, having a weekly check-in meeting that is on both of your calendars, that maybe it's a half an hour, maybe it's 45 minutes, maybe it's an hour. It just depends on your personalities and the workflow and stuff like that. But having the opportunity for you to just like sit down and really check in with the intern is really important because that gives you a chance to sort of like talk about some like you know, ask about how specific projects are going. And then you can look at somebody's um, nonverbal communication and their face, and like you can kind of like get a sense of, oh, like, yep, everything's good, or like, oh, something isn't good here. I need to like ask another question about that because somebody is, like has the furrowed brow or they're like sort of getting jittery when I'm asking them about something specific. That's really important. That helps you as a manager make sure that you're like heading challenges off before they like get really, I don't want to say bad, but like get more complicated and take longer to resolve. And so, sometimes it helps to have an agenda or a standing agenda. So maybe like to make it easier for both of you, you just have like three or four things that you're going to talk about each week. And so, like some examples, I really love Scrum meetings, and we can talk about that in a different video. But the questions that are typically asked in those meetings are, what did you do yesterday? Or it could be, in this case, like, what did you do last week? What are you going to be working on this week, the week moving forward? And then what are the things that are standing in your way of being able to like move forward with the projects that you need to? Having those three questions is like what you're going to talk about each time could be really powerful because it gives you a sense of like what they did, what they're going to do, and then the places that the your intern thinks that there could be a problem. And when you have a standing meeting, if you have an intern who is maybe a little bit I don't want to say shy, but maybe like not as confident or confident in like their skills and in their abilities. Maybe somebody who's just like not quite sure. Sometimes people who are more introverted or who have some anxiety, not knowing what to expect when they walk into a meeting can just like cause even more anxiety and make them more upset. And so if you can just like let people know ahead of time, these are the things to expect to talk about, that's really going to help your intern, but it's also really going to help you because you know, like once this meeting pops up on your calendar, like you know what to expect. You don't there it takes out the guesswork. And that can be really, really valuable for both you and the intern. So think about it and consider adopting that. And while we're on the topic, we have an online course called Level Up, or I should say, it's Confident Communicator Level Up. And it's all about different skills that interns might need, like delivering bad news or how to refer a client or a colleague. So the videos are about 10 minutes a piece. There's some content, questions for reflection, and then the student intern is going to be encouraged after every time to be talking to you as their manager about what they've learned and what they were thinking. And so that gives you that opportunity of that. If you have this once a week meeting that you're meeting with the intern, they can also be working on some of this content in the background independently, but it also can help inform your conversations and help you both learn in the process. So I hope you'll consider at least looking into it. The link is listed below. I'm really excited about it because it's so great to have the opportunity to help the next generation of professionals sort of like understand what it's like to be in a professional setting, especially when we're in this time that it's just like changing by the day and sometimes by the hour. And so I think that's stressful most of the time, but it also I'm trying to view it as an opportunity and the chance to like learn and grow myself and help other people learn and grow with me. All right. Times are very, very weird, but remember to take a deep breath and be kind to yourself and to others. Cut everybody some slack because it's weird. All right. Keep rocking, and I look forward to connecting with you back here soon.